Many people, including I in the beginning, but many people wonder why decorative rock is so expensive. What separates decorative rock from most other rock you see used along the highways is, one, color. It's more attractive. Not always, because some highway rock is used as decorative rock, but in general, decorative rock is more colorful, but not as structurally sound, not as hard as con ag or construction aggregates. Construction aggregates have to meet very stringent standards. Of course, decorative rock has to just meet, well, perhaps one of the hardest standards there is: your personal aesthetic acceptance. However, decorative rock quarries are often very small, yet have the same costs and responsibilities as con ag quarries. And here we are, I'm standing, inside the Summer Sangria red rock pit. And let's just look at this for a moment. In order for this operator to get his rock produced into the sizes that you would use in landscaping, he's got to take these boulders that are anywhere from 1,000 to, 4 or 5 tons, depending on where they're at, and break them down into material about that size. But even before he can safely do that, he's got to have the quarry itself in a condition where the workers and the equipment can operate safely. So they've got this large trench here for any of the rock that would come down off the face here, so it falls into the trench instead of rolling down and injuring a worker or damaging a piece of equipment. Just the thousands of dollars of labor and fuel and equipment time that it took this trench to be made makes the cost of decorative rock that much higher. So now these boulders are free, they'll be broken down again into smaller material like this rubble here. And then that rubble has to go through this machine, which is a crusher. These machines I typically see selling for $700,000 to $1 million each. And when you take your car or truck to get some maintenance done, you're shocked when it's a few $100. The simple maintenance bill on this machine is maybe $10,000. Time the parts are changed out, and that just gets the rock crushed down to some various sizes. Next, it's got to be run through that machine down there, which is a triple deck. Separates the rock into 3 or 4 different sizes, some of which are then sold into the landscape market. We can see down there some 4x8 in a huge pile, some 3/4, and then the oversized rock that comes out of that we put in a pile and run back through the crusher and crush down again. Triple deck, again, $500,000 to $750,000. Really, to operate this quarry at a minimum, you've got about a $2 million to $2.5 million minimal equipment expenditure. So you can see why decorative rock is such a high cost. And then you run into the randomness in nature. The entire mountain range is red until you get to this one little ledge, this one area here where it's just got this olive green rock in this pocket here to the left and then over here to the right. Not even enough of it to crush to make its own separate color and get back some money on it. Rock that will have to be taken down and hauled off and used at a later point for filling in some of the quarry. And then over in there, you've got a huge face of white material on the red rock. Rock itself that'll probably have to be blasted off and buried until you get back into a better red vein. In construction aggregate, they don't care what color it is, as long as it meets a hardness test. So you have a lot of material that has to be thrown away, discarded, with all the expense of getting it that you would have to use for your good rock. And this is pretty much the common standard throughout the decorative rock industry. You get away with this a little bit in some areas where they have huge mines, and they'll take that off green color and blend it with a little bit of the red and produce a new color blend. But again, you'd have to have a huge supply of it, and you'd have to have it in a usable location, not approximately 100 feet away and 100 feet up, and in between a sea of huge boulders. I mean, look at the monster thing this is. I mean, that's easily 12 tons. And it's not going anywhere until it's broken down. What is notable about this quarry, and why I came up here, it's not proving to be as easy to find. I may have to wait until a heavy rain has taken place and clean it up some more. What is notable about this quarry is there's some real gems in here, figuratively and literally speaking. There's a lot of silver to be found in this rock, and there's this one right here. This is a real beauty. It's filled with all these quartz crystals. Real beauty of a rock. I'd like to be able to get at it. Unfortunately, it's got a 3-4 ton monster sitting on it. We'll see. I'm coming here treasure hunting to get little 1 and 2 ton boulders like that to offer up as specimens in the yard. And keeping in mind, I'm one of the few people in this industry who actually visits as many quarries as possible to look for the treasure that's out there. So, a brief explanation without all the noise as to why it's so damn expensive to buy decorative rock. And of course, there's the trucking from the quarry to your location.